We got a huge update as the Spurs have officially made a decision on Bismack Biyombo as Brian Wright has renewed the 10-day contract per a source. We got to talk about what this means for the Spurs going forward with Victor Wembanyama out for the season, how he looked last night, plus a lot more, including some interesting things coming from that game versus the Suns, and a little look forward to the Pistons. There is a lot to talk about on this episode of Spurs Digest, and we'll get into Biyombo in just a second, but to give you guys the proper context, we need to talk just a little bit about last night. And look, I'm not going to go too in-depth in the game because this is a video about Bismack Biyombo. But hey, he was a huge part of this game, right? Starting for the team, playing 16 minutes, shooting 4 for 4 from the field. And all I want to say about Bismack Biyombo is, oh boy, did he ever look reliable. I don't know, like having him under the rim, that's exactly the presence we need with Wembanyama out. And that's exactly what I have said in every video about Biyombo. When we signed him to the 10-day, I was surprised he wasn't getting playing time, early on with the team. I was surprised he only got that 25-second stint in that one game. But he looked like the perfect Wemby replacement in a lot of ways. Now, obviously, he's not going to fill every single role, but I mean on the defensive end, plus being able to throw it down every now and then, I thought he would have been a good backup. But regardless, he had a great game starting. But there's a couple other things I want to dive into, including Stephon Castle. He didn't shoot particularly great from the field, not starting the post-All-Star break with another, 18, 20, 22-point game, but he got a double-double. His first career double-double, which I feel like caught me off guard. I feel like maybe he had one earlier this season, but no, he definitely didn't. And coming off the bench there in 26 minutes, which is a pretty good amount of minutes. I mean, it's comparable to a guy like Harrison Barnes. Came in, shot 4 for 12 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3, but he grabbed 10 boards and 3 steals. 10, 10, and 3. For that being an off night for Castle is incredibly good. Whoa, the excitement's getting too much of me. But yeah, so Castle was great. Great to see him make the most of his minutes every single night, being impactful. But the other guy I want to talk about is Chris Paul. Chris Paul coming out and moving into second on the total all-time regular season steals list. I think John Stockton's record is borderline unbreakable. Now, we might see some guys come into the league soon who are incredible at getting steals. Like, we're seeing a guy like Dyson Daniels be really, really good at it now. But hey, Stockton had that combination of being a Hall of Fame level point guard plus being able to get those steals. So anyway, really cool for Chris Paul. Oh, and one final thing. De'Aaron Fox Clutch Player of the Year award, it's well-deserved, right? A couple of years ago. Like, this guy, it looked like he just decided in that fourth quarter that, you know what? I think Phoenix's defense is a joke, so I'm just going to score now. And guess what? That's exactly what he did. Now, 8 for 19 from the field on the game. Not amazing, but the clutch performance to seal this win, unbelievable. Honestly, really unbelievable. Spurs scored 120 points. Very balanced effort, but Fox was leading the way. This is exactly what we wanted to see, right? With Wemby going down, we needed depth scoring, and we needed Fox to step up, and that's what happened tonight. So a lot of great things coming from this game. The Spurs are now officially 3 games out of a play-in spot. They make up a full game of ground on the Suns, now only being 1 game behind. The Suns have 2 games in hand, but they do have 2 more wins. So we'll be on the lookout for a little bit coming there. And the Spurs actually do have a matchup against the Pistons tonight, which is going to be tough on a back-to-back. We're hoping Fox can play well. But my prediction for tonight, first of all, leave your prediction, W or L versus the Pistons tonight. The Pistons are a good team. My prediction's Castle's going to drop 25 points. I just feel it. I feel it in my bones. Now, the Pistons have some good defenders on their team, but I don't know. Like, their backcourt's decent. I'm feeling a Castle bomb tonight. I'm feeling Fox maybe being a bit off rhythm. Who knows? But I think it's going to be Castle's day. But let me know your thoughts on this upcoming game down below, as we got to now shift gears and talk about our boy Bismack Biyombo. So, funny thing, as I was preparing for this video, this is all I had, right? The Pistons were favored by 4.5. The Spurs are on a second night of a back-to-back. Mitch Johnson was optimistic Charles Bassey might be able to return tonight, and Bismack Biyombo's 10-day contract has ended, per Real GM. And Keith Smith tweeted out the same thing. 10-day contract has expired for the following players: Bismack Biyombo, Jahlil Okafor, David Roddy. All 3 players are eligible to sign a second 10-day deal. So I'm here thinking, all right, it's Bismack Biyombo's gone. That's it. That's, I don't really understand it, but that's it. And it's Charles Bassey time. Do I have the Bassey picture? There he is. So I was like, you know what? If he's back, he kind of does what Biyombo does. So I was kind of okay with it, but I was a bit surprised, especially considering just how good Biyombo did play against the Suns. Again, shooting 4 for 4, being a decent rim protecting presence, grabbing a few boards. I was like, really? Like, what's the harm in signing him to another 10-day? But just like that was a few hours ago, those tweets came out. But just as I was about to record, Nate Ryan came out and said, source, the Spurs are renewing the 10-day contract of forward center Bismack Biyombo. The 32-year-old started in last night's win, finished with 8 points and 3 rebounds. They were his first NBA minutes of the season. Well, I mean, I guess he played 25 seconds in another game, so I guess it was his first NBA minute. He had just played NBA seconds beforehand. But this makes me actually really happy because it shows that the Spurs are still committed to winning. Even if Charles Bassey is good to go, they're going to keep running Biyombo. Now, the question to me, and I want you guys to answer this down below as well right now, who is going to start tonight versus the Pistons between Biyombo and Bassey? Now, you guys may be watching this after the game, and you can let me know what happened. But, still, it's an interesting question. Because, again, Bassey is younger. He brings a lot of the same elements to his game as Bismack Biyombo does. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like Biyombo, after last night's performance against Phoenix, you can't deny that. 4 for 4 shooting, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. 1 turnover and only 2 fouls. He was a +3. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of good things coming with Bismack Biyombo. And again, he's a guy that not only do Spurs fans really like after watching him play this game, I got a lot of Lakers fans telling me that they want Biyombo very badly. So at the very least, I'm just hoping that Biyombo stays out of the Lakers' hands. Right now, look, I don't want to make this video about that. But look, Alex Len versus Bismack Biyombo, I'm just saying, I know who I'd pick. So right now, this has big implications for the Spurs going forward. For the rest of the season, after the second 10-day for Bismack Biyombo, the Spurs will have to decide if they want to keep him around. This will expire, I believe it's March 1st or March 2nd. March 2nd is when this second 10-day will expire for Biyombo. And after that, the Spurs will, well, how many games will they have left? So right now, let's see, they played 53, so I don't know how many games between now and March 2nd. Let's assume 4 games. I didn't actually look at the schedule. So 3 or 4 games. The Spurs will have over 20 games left, like 25 games left this season. And I think renewing Biyombo for the rest of the way, if he even proves that he can hold his own at all on the NBA court right now, is going to absolutely be worth it. Because just having that center depth on a team that really, really struggles in terms of size is going to be insanely important if you even want to stay competitive in games. Because outside of Biyombo, like, honestly, we were thinking Sochan might have started at center last night versus the Suns. But no, it was Biyombo. And now you got Bassey as well. And that's your 2 big man rotation. And if you decide you need shooting based on the matchup, you still have Sandro sitting there on the bench. Sandro Mamakhalishvili, Seton Hall alum. We all love him here. Everyone loves Sandro. So now you actually have a little bit of choice for your big men. Whereas coming into last night's game, we were thinking, well, if Biyombo's going to be scratched and Wemby's not playing, is it just going to be Sandro and Sochan or something? No. So hopefully this paints a good picture for the rest of the way for the Spurs. Hopefully, Biyombo does sign this next 10-day. He performs well, and we just sign him for the rest of the season. The dude can still play. I think that's clear at the very least. You give the Spurs a couple of options. The pick and rolls with Chris Paul were looking really good. Again, don't know what his stamina is going to be, if they want to play him every single night, if Biyombo's going to go out and play again, like a lot of the second night of a back-to-back, especially against the Pistons team who has Jalen Duren. I believe he's not injured, right? If he is injured, call me out. Fair enough. Sorry, fair weather Pistons fan. I don't keep track of the Pistons injuries, but look, they got some guys down there. So, it's going to be an interesting matchup tonight, but I think having Biyombo is going to be important for a lot of matchups going forward. Let me know your thoughts on this decision to renew the 10-day. I'm happy. I think a lot of you are happy, but I'd love to hear your thoughts down below, as that's going to do it for this episode of Spurs Digest. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, and as always, guys, subscribe to the channel. 8.5 minutes into this video. Every single day we got videos, all the latest news, rumors, reports. This is your home for it. So if you wouldn't mind, hit that free button down below. You won't regret it. I promise. I've been your host, Josh Gosse, and I'll catch you in the next one.